There's another one for the motherland. Yes, 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 there's another one for the motherland. When the shade on the detail.
I like it, Paris, baby.
For your info, check the intro, check the logo, I'm for the zongo. Make a link up with the gringo. Another hit song, it's a bingo. Enemies.
Blam, 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 my beautiful and lovely peoples. Day 2, Uganda, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or slightly later. I've been a little bit lazy this morning, done everything very, very slowly. Just, I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm on holiday, you know, although it's not really a holiday at all, but that's kind of what I feel like. Hang on a minute, where's the keys? Yes, I've got my keys, phone, got my other phone in the bag. Yes, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on, I'm going to try and get a Bajaji, because I got a Boda Boda, which is a motorbike, yesterday, and I got that to take me to the gym that I looked at. Gym wasn't all that great, but if I get back early enough tonight, I'm going to try and use it, because I don't want my body to fall to bits. Is that locked? Yes. The landlady assures me that this is a secure area and nothing's going to get nicked. So I'll hold her to her word. Yeah, I'm going to walk up onto the main high street up there, and I'm going to see if I can get a Bajaji to take me to a place called Acacia. I think that's how it's pronounced. Acacia Mall. Now, Acacia Mall is just like a shopping centre. It's a very modern thing. I don't think I'm going to go in there and take any pictures or anything, because you guys use better malls than that every single day. But it's probably good in Uganda. Hello, sir. How are you? All right?
I'm okay.
Good, thank you. The main high street is literally in front of me, yeah? So let me switch off. When I find a Bajaji, maybe I'll switch on again, yeah? Okay. So basically what's happened is I was walking down the road and I bumped into my friend here. Sorry, what's your name?
I'm Kalema Ismail.
Ishmael. And he promises me that he's not going to kill me today.
I'm promising.
Right, okay. So hopefully he's going to get me to Acacia Mall. Oh, by the way, that's his Bajaji there.
Yeah, Bajaj.
Yeah. Now I'm going to take the risk, and I'm going to. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
My two little friends. Say hello. Say hello. No, say hello to them. Yeah, okay, let's do it. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to film the entire journey, right? So you guys can get a chance to see what the roads of Kampala are like. Okay? Love ya. Now make sure you don't kill me, yeah?
No.
Right, guys, I'm going to turn the camera around now, yeah? Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah. Yep.
We start?
Yep. And we're off.
wakianza kusumbua wewe, kweli kweli nitaleta tari. Nani huyu anasema tatanganyisha upendo ya milele na milele? Simba gani na jaribu kuingilia malaika wache mimi. pesa mingi mama, ningekupeleka Ulaya tujifiche huko mbali sana, tutoroke our Roma ya.
Say hello to my friends in the UK.
Nice meeting you. Doing great in Uganda.
Asante, I mean, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Unasema Kiswahili?
Pardon?
Unasema Kiswahili?
I don't know Swahili.
Oh, right, okay.
Difficult.
I know everybody here speaks English anyway, so it's okay, isn't it?
Some people.
Yeah. Sorry, let me just, Yeah, so we've arrived.
Yeah.
As you can see, I've got my friend here, Ishmael,
Yeah, of course.
and I have my friend here,
Titus.
Titus, and is that the Acacia Mall is over there, isn't it?
Exactly.
All right, okay. So I'm just about to pay Ishmael here, and then I'm going to go into the mall. All right. Sterile, man. Just as you'd expect. But I managed to get this bag is full of stuff because my place, I've got cooking facilities at my place, so I thought I'd just like get one or two things, you know, the sort of like pleasurable fry up stuff. So I've got all that in my bag. I'm going to go for a little walk. I didn't sleep very well last night because there was a mosquito in my room. I could hear him buzzing around my ears and shit, and there's no mosquito net on my bed. But one of the things that I just now brought in there was some mosquito spray stuff, so I should be alright. Okay, so I'm just going to have a little walk and then I'm going to find my way back to my apartment. Okay? Love you. Hello there. In a bit of a rush. I'm trying to remember where I last left off with you guys. I think I was leaving the shopping centre, coming home to make something to eat. I did that. I had a lovely fry up, but because I was so knackered the night before, I didn't get any sleep last night because I don't know if I told you that I was getting bitten by a mosquito, and we were just having battles all night. But I'm really tired, and I've got to go to the gym, that gym that I discovered yesterday. So I've basically just packed up my stuff. I just had a nap for about 2 hours. So I've just now put my stuff in my bag, and I'm going to fly up to this gym. I'm also going to meet that same Boda guy, do you remember? Because, yeah, I told him to sort me out some green. So he should be up the road now. So that's kind of the update. Maybe when I get to the gym I might turn it on. If not, I'll see you a little later, yeah? Okay, love ya. Do you know something? I seriously don't feel like training today, you know?
Yes, Steve.
Oh!
Hi there.
This geezer's creeping up on me.
How you doing?
Hey, do you know a place around the corner? I think it's called the Hut. It's 2000, I know it's 2000 because somebody took me there yesterday. So it's down there, and then I think you've got to take a right. Yeah? Okay. By the way, I don't know if you could see, there's a police car behind me flashing. Well, when I got off the guy's Boda, the guy chucked the green in my bag right in front of that police thing, do you know what I mean? So I quickly took out the money and gave him the thing like it was the fare, so that the police wouldn't get suspicious, do you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm just outside the gym now, just about to jump in the lift. I think it's on the fifth floor in this building, so see you in a minute. all done, guys. I'm going to have to get a boda and go straight home because these legs, I mean, somehow I've managed to get severe cramps. I don't know, it's only been like 2-3 days since I trained properly. There's no excuse for this. It must be old age. 28 getting on. Do you know what I mean? But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home, have another fry up, test out this Breaders green and pass out, right? So I don't really see any point in me making another video. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say over and out. See you next time, okay? Love ya. He's here, yeah? Yes. All right, okay. I'm just saying to my friends that the taxis arrived for me to move on, because I told you that I make videos for my friends in the UK. So I'm just telling them that the taxis arrived for us to move on to the next location. All in Kampala, we're still in Kampala, but this is the next place that I'm going to be staying. It's very sad that I have to say goodbye to this lovely place because I've really enjoyed my time here, and I've told.
I enjoyed hosting you.
Thank you. I've told my friends about this lovely Ugandan lady that has put me on. So I just want them to see you.
Okay.
Yeah?
Hello.
Hello. This is the lovely Ugandan lady who's put me up for the last 2 days, but unfortunately she's booked new guests, so I have to leave, unfortunately. But who knows? That's what life is all about: seeing different things and meeting new people and so on and so forth. So we have to move on. I'm going to give her a kiss.
Exactly.
Right, and get out of here. Okay, peeps.
It's been nice hosting you. Please come again.
I certainly will. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See you later, folks. All right, guys. So just in the taxi on the way to my new location with my taxi driver here. Sorry, what was your name?
James.
James. Yeah, this is James. We're having a very interesting conversation actually about politics and what's going on in the world and so on and so forth. And I must say, I'm very, very, very encouraged. I'm very, very encouraged. Not just James here, but other people that I've spoken to when I've been in Uganda. Everybody is aware of this shit. Most of the people that I know are aware. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that there's going to be a lot of people who are not aware and they've gone out and they've taken this thing. But the important thing is that the majority are aware. Yeah? Because, like I say, Africa is rising and Europe, sorry, are going down. That's the way it's going to be. Greed and selfishness and self-centeredness is what's going to make Europe implode. That's the way it's going to be. Anyway, enough of that. I'm just on my way to the next place that I'm going to be staying in Kampala. I'm going to stay here for a short time, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hopefully move to a place called Ginger. Is it Ginger?
Ginger,
yeah. Yeah, a place called Ginger, which is apparently known as the root of the Nile. We all know about the River Nile. Well, apparently it starts in this Ginger place. But I'm going to do a bit more research and I'll find out about Ginger and we can have a chat about that at a later date anyway. But yeah, that's it basically. Love ya. Bye. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
See ya.
So, here I am in my new apartment. All I need to do to show you the entire apartment is this. Actually, I'll stop here because the light's that side, you can see me better. That's it. There is a bedroom next door, but it's not saying much. There is also a bathroom that is also not saying much. But, you know, I've booked this for 2 days. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to head out. This place, although it might not be that great on the inside, on the outside it's very, very central. The cooking facilities and stuff here are not very nice. So I don't think I'm going to bother sort of buying stuff and bringing it here like I did in the last place. You know, I cooked for the first time in months in the other place and it was really nice, you know. But here what I'm going to do is I'm going to just eat out, yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. And yeah, see you later. Bye. Guys, something really funny just happened, by the way. I was walking just next to the Acacia Mall, right? And this tiny little Ugandan girl, she walked up to me, right? And she's swinging some masks in my in front of me, saying, "Could you buy masks? Buy masks." I said to her, I turned around and I said to her, "I'm not going to buy a mask because Corona doesn't exist." So she looks at me and she said, "Ebola, Ebola." Oh my God, I had such a good laugh. I had to take out some coinage and give to the girl because I just thought that was class. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like she knew that Corona never exists, so she had to come out with an next one. Anyway, my friend had some good traditional Ugandan food.
Yeah.
I don't want any of this sanitized nonsense like Kentucky Fried Chicken. So guys, I managed to find a restaurant that is traditionally Ugandan, and it's within a stone's throw of Acacia Mall, to believe it or not. So it's probably a little bit kind of plushy. Let me just quickly turn our phone around so you can see. So there you go. So those through the doors there and through the windows, which are all open, of course, that is actually Acacia Mall. So that shows you how close we are to the Acacia Mall. And it's a very nice, modern, sort of plushy type restaurant. But everything that they serve here is traditional Ugandan food. Now I've ordered quite a few things. I think it's similar to the other place that I went to, where they kind of, you know, chuck quite a few different things on your plate. I'm really falling in love with Uganda. The people here are just so super friendly. But I mean, having said that, there is a feeling that something that you get in Tanzania is kind of missing here, because there's so many guns. I mean, I see so many sort of security people with guns, and so many people warn me about my mobile phone and to hang on to my bag, and everywhere I go I'm always being warned about security. I mean, I've never seen anything, and the people are so friendly and nice. It's I mean, I'm very central now, so there's lots of kind of tourists and sort of foreigners, and I don't really like that. I mean, the area that I live in Tanzania, I don't kind of see many of those, because although I'm in Dar es Salaam, I'm really kind of on the outskirts, and it's more of a sort of village kind of life, and you know, I'm embedded with real Tanzanians, and I've become a Tanzanian. But since I've been in Kampala, I've been very central. When I finished in here, I'm going to see if I can go for a walk and find some sort of traditional Ugandan streets, and just see what I want, you know what I mean? Again, I can't tell you that I'm going to film it, because all the warnings about my phone getting nicked and all that kind of stuff, I don't want to encourage that to happen by walking around filming the way that I am now. Because, not so much because I'm worried about getting the phone teeth, but I'm worried about what I will do to any any Ugandan who tries to steal my phone. Because he's obviously not going to do it, you know what I mean? I will grab him by his ears or whatever, and there's no way he's going to get away without his ears getting torn off of his head, right? And then when I've finished with his ears, then the rest of his body will get crushed as well. And I don't want to do that. So, you know, I don't really want to film too much walking around the streets and so on and so forth. But I have to say, man, so the people are just so lovely. It's obvious that the political system here is not kind of sophisticated like, you know, this place didn't born a Magufuli. You know, there's things I'll tell you about. You know, one of the things when I was kind of discovering Magufuli and how great the guy was, I observed a foreign visit that he done to Uganda, and all of Magufuli's entourage and all the people, because it's like all the Tanzanians were on this side and all the Ugandans were on this side, and all the Tanzanians were walking around breathing God's air the way that we were born to do, right? And on that side, all of Museveni and all of his entourage, they were all wearing masks in that satanic. Yeah, I mean, they all look satanic and nasty and horrible. Do you know what I mean? And from that point forth, I've never really checked for this Museveni guy, right? And you know, everybody knows that the guy kind of overstays his tenure in power, right? But for me, it's more than that. For me, he's prepared to overtly adopt the sort of duppy way of doing things. So it's almost like it's the African version of the elites that are trying to poison the UK people. So he's in with them. He might be doing it from an African perspective, but he's still one of them and he's still doing it. So I can't roll with him. I mean, I've spoken to people over in Uganda. You know me, man. When I walk around, I always try to test the water. And I'll give a man the benefit of the doubt, because this place gave birth to Idi Amin, who is a brother that I check for, as you all know. So I'm prepared to give this Museveni brother the benefit of the doubt, and I've spoken to one or two people who do say that he's a cool leader, but nah, no cool leader, no man on the level of Stevie C would ever adopt those coronavirus things and implement them against the people of the country. Anyone who does that can't roll with Stevie C. Do you know what I mean? That's why, in terms of political leaders and stuff, Magufuli is head and shoulders above every other political leader in the planet, right? And the fact that he actually died for us, right? You see, I believe in knowing and not believing. I can tell you that I know Magufuli died for me, so I can revere him in the same way that you revere Jesus, because you believe that he died for you. He didn't even exist, but you believe it and you love him and you revere him. Well, I do the same with Magufuli, and I know he died for me, right? That's the difference between me and you. Anyway, my juice has just turned up. Yeah, mango and something else. I'm waiting for my food to turn up. When my food turns up, we'll chat again. Yeah, love ya. So there it is, guys. Let me point it out to you. So this is the chicken. You got quite a lot of it there in the peanut butter sauce. This is a sort of banana thing. They crush up the bananas, and then we have our cassava. I don't know which one. That's the sweet potato, cassava, and yam. Then this is our pilau rice. Then pumpkin. This is sukuma wiki with avocado, and that's it. Obviously the fruit juice over there. So leave me to it and let me kill this, and I'll give you a verdict at the end. Yeah? Okay, love you. Hello. So, tonight will be my third night in Uganda, and it's my first night in this new place, which is not remotely as nice as the previous place. This place is basic is an extreme. That lady, that lovely lady that you guys have seen, really full of everything. That place, which is so comfortable, so nice. This place is nowhere near. It's the kind of place that meant that I needed to go down to the supermarket and actually sort of buy some goodies, because I would just go sort of down and just be in this place. But 3 nights in, I don't know. I guess it's hard, having been here the amount of time that I've been here, to give an honest appraisal or to come to any kind of conclusions, because obviously 3 days or 2.5 days is not enough. But one thing that I have to say, I mean, because I don't know if, you know, normal people, when I move around Africa, I kind of have an attitude about myself. Do you know what I mean? I think I kind of give off a sort of aura of, do you know what I mean? I'm in Africa and I kind of love everybody and the whole spiritual thing and blah, 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 blah. And I think that people can pick up on that. So they know that I'm a man who they can just chat to and, you know, so I'm trying to sort of imagine if I was just like a normal person who'd come over here from holiday from, say, somewhere like the UK, and you're in this kind of strange place, would people be as friendly as they are to me? Probably not. But for a man like me who kind of goes around talking to people and, you know, playing with the kids and, you know, I mean, I'm very sort of extroverted. So somebody like that, the friendliness would just come back. And these people in Uganda, they're friendly to the extent that you have to say something about it. You know, it's a feature of the Ugandan people that must be spoken about. It's really, really nice. The other slight difference I would say with Tanzania is this is land of the black people. Now, that's black with 2 Ks at the end, right? The people here are dark. Do you know what I mean? They have got the king melanin skin. Yeah, nothing can ramp with the skin that they've got over here. They've got the best. In terms of protection, can't beat these people. Do you know what I mean? They're that shiny black, you know? And there's so many of them that are blessed with it. It's this, you know, you walk up, I mean, I've got to go somewhere like South Sudan because, you know, they talk about, and you kind of can imagine the whole desert thing and people. But here, there is a far higher concentration of dark people than in Dar es Salaam. I remember once, because the area that I live in Dar es Salaam, it's in the city, but it's kind of a remote area. It's known as a kind of a remote area. You need to get on a ferry to get there, or to go round a long way. You need to go over this long bridge to get to this part of Dar es Salaam. And I remember once I was kind of walking through this poverty type stricken area, and you know, there's like all hills, you know, sort of a volcanic rock, so it's all hard rocky type thing, and you have to go up in hills and everybody's walking around on foot and everything. And I remember I saw this woman, and I was just struck by how kind of majestic she looked. She was, you know, it's like it was all in slow motion. I was just looking at this woman and she was walking, and you know, it's like, I can't remember the exact details of what I saw, but she would have had a child in her arm up here, and maybe a child down here by a hand walking to the side. But she was just walking upright and straight, and she was sort of thin, and she was black and cheekbones, and it's so majestically walking. And you know, I was probably taller than her, but because I was sort of at the lower end of the slope, I was kind of looking up at her, and she kind of walked past me, and I almost wanted to fall to my knees and just. She was like a goddess. You know, she was like one of those black goddesses, and you know, it kind of struck me that she would never have thought that way about herself. You know, she was just like walking with her kid and the kid in the arm, but I looked at her and I was just struck by how amazing she looked, right? Now, she had that really, really dark skin. She was very, very upright, perfect. You know, because like a lot of the women over in Dar es Salaam, they wear kind of Islamic garb, right? I don't know necessarily if they're Islamic or not, but they all kind of wear this kind of modest, conservative kind of garb, you know. But you know, the kind of skin she had, and the kind of skin that I was kind of struck by how, because it was just like shiny. Do you remember when what's her name? Oh God. Yeah, that's it. Grace Jones. Do you remember when Grace Jones used to do some sort of album covers and stuff, and you just see a very dark person that she'll be shiny? That's what this woman kind of looked like, right? Now, that kind of skin is 10 a penny here. I'm not saying that everybody here looks majestic and goddess like she did. That was like a scene out of some kind of. It was nothing to her, and it would have probably been nothing to anybody else in Dar es Salaam. But to me, who just kind of arrived in Africa and I saw this, you know, it really struck me. But what I'm trying to describe is that her skin, that type of black, unbelievable skin, lots of people have got it here, right? So that's another sort of difference between Dar es Salaam and here. There are lots of people in Dar es Salaam, but they're kind of more of a sort of mix of black people. So today, I was out, and I think one of the things that I was struck by was the sophistication. I mean, I was at the restaurant, the Ugandan food restaurant that was very close to Acacia Mall. And I was in there, and one of the waitresses walked over. She must have been about 21. Something like that. And I can't remember how I got into asking her this, but I said, you know, what do you think of Museveni? And then she started to sort of like say, you know, yeah, I think he's a good president, and then I kind of said, how do you feel about the fact that, you know, he was pushing this whole sort of vaccine thing? Because knowing what we know now about the whole corona thing and what it was and what it's done to people and so on and so forth, you see, the fifth dimensional people at the time who could see everything that was going on made me think about this Museveni guy in relation to Magufuli. Just God, I just couldn't understand it. I couldn't get it, you know. As far as I was concerned, this man he exposed himself to me, right? So I could never check for him. So when I put it to this girl, right, how she felt about Museveni, she said, yeah, I think he's a very, very good leader. And then I put it to her that, you know, how could he be a good leader if he was, you know, pushing these sort of Western poisons on the people of Uganda, you know, adopting a gender that we all know is a global scourge. You know, I mean, all the leaders, they didn't have to do it. Well, I mean, I suppose the pressure on some was so much, but Magufuli is an example that you don't have to, right? So I kind of put that to her, right? And her answer was so sophisticated, man. Now I'm sorry to sort of get you excited, and because I can't remember the details of what she said, but it was so sophisticated, and it kind of made me realize that I remember a long time ago when I made one of my first videos, and not everybody would have seen this video, but I remember telling you guys that you don't have to worry about Africa. They're never gonna take over Africa. They're never gonna kill Africa. They're never gonna do what they're now doing to Europe. They're not. You're not going to dominate these people. Don't pity these people. This is what I remember that I told you in a video some time ago, and the way that this girl was, because I was engaging with her. I mean, I was talking to her for about a few minutes, and then I would shut up, and then she would talk through it. It was one of those ones. She's working in a restaurant. And sophistication. How she was saying that, people have got to kind of, they're in it for themselves. And, she was saying, if you, because I put it to her that if I was Mussolini, I wouldn't have succumbed to the financial incentives. And financial incentives as an inducement to poison your population is not. And then she would come in and then she would explain how it's kind of the responsibility of the people to blah 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 blah. And I was putting my, but she was so sophisticated, and it really made me kind of think more. I mean, I still can't. Pulling a fast one, because I've learned so much from being in Dar es Salaam. The pulling a fast one on you, it just doesn't work with me. It just bounces off of me now, but they do it here as well. All the charging too much, and negotiation for everything, and ripping you off, and they're trying to get cash out of you, and so on and so forth. Like I went into this hotel because when I was looking for a gym one night, I went into a hotel, and there's a guy at the front with a gun, like I say, big shotgun type thing. So anyway, I asked him if I'd go past. He said, yeah. I went past, looked around, the gym was shit, so I came out. I said to him, now that gym wasn't very good. Do you know any other gyms around here? And he goes, yeah, there's one in this building called the Ham Tower, right? So I was like, okay, how do you get there then? And he goes, you can get a Boda Boda just up the road. I'll come with you and I'll show you. And as we're walking up to the Boda Boda, I goes, how much do you think it would cost? Because every time I get a Boda Boda in a new place, I always ask somebody who's not connected to the Boda Boda the fare of, because they'll all rip you off if you don't know, right? So I said to him, how much? He said, don't worry, I'll go up there and I'll negotiate for you. So we're walking up this a slight hill to the thing, and then he goes, I've got this headache. I've got a real headache, and my head is hurting. It's been hurting for quite a while, and could you help me just buy some medicine? So me having been in Tanzania, like I don't care what you lot say, right? I'm telling you, you would get done by, some of you lot would get done by that type of thing. You would. She walks up to me. Do you want to buy a mask? They speak English. Do you want to buy a mask? So I turned around. You know me, militant. When it comes to Corona, I'm militant, right? So I turn around. I'm like, darling, there is no Corona. I mean, I don't need a mask. There's no such thing as Corona. It's all a load of... So the girl just switched on me, man. Ebola! So I just burst out laughing, man. It was the way that she said it and the sharpness of her, you know what I mean? Okay, Ebola. Because, you see, fifth-dimensional thinkers like me, right? I remember when I was coming over here, and one of my friends over in Dar es Salaam rang me up and said, Stephen, be very careful. There's been an Ebola outbreak. Now, without even thinking about it, and knowing what I know about the world, he said, this is what I mean, the awakening awakes you, and you see the world in a different way, and boy, I'm telling you, It's like you have a power to just interpret things differently. And then I feel so bad for people that don't have it. I really do, but I've got it, yeah? And as soon as the guy told me that, this is me, don't worry. First of all, there's only two things that will kill me, a silver bullet or Jaja himself, right? So I'm not worried about Ebola. And secondly, I told them there ain't no Ebola in Uganda anyway, right? They had a recent finding of shitloads of gold. In a certain area, they've found gold deposits in Uganda, right? That measure into the billions or trillions or so. I can't remember, right? I saw something on the television about it, but it was a major gold find. Now, so as soon as I heard that they got the Ebola, and you know, I know how elites in every country operate now. This is what I'm saying. Things like Corona should wake you up to certain things that we didn't know before. Governments in countries that were traditionally enemies of the West and stuff also bought into the whole coronavirus thing. So we were all scratching ourselves. This is one of the things that convinced everybody that it must be real, because so many sort of countries know. Now you know. Now you know that you can't look at politics, you can't look at control of people in the way that you used to. It doesn't exist. These people are all these leaders are working in their own interests to control the masses in their jurisdictions. That's how you kind of got to look at the world. That's why somebody like Magufuli was so amazing. This is why he really ought to be revered. But too many people are just too simple, so they won't. Yeah, so the whole Ebola thing. So I told him, don't worry about Ebola, right? The reason why they're coming out with this is because they want to keep everybody away from a certain area. Now, when I first arrived here, I got into a taxi cab and I was driving, I was talking to them, and I put that point. Do you know what I mean? I said that this whole true. It's true. And I've had it confirmed by another man. Now, nobody told me this, you know. Nobody told me anything. You know, I turned on the television the other day and they were kind of talking in sort of Ugandan. They weren't talking in English. But they showed the site of where people were, you know, there are all these people wearing masks, walking around with these white suits. And it looks pathetic. Now that we've been through the awakening, now that we've seen what we've seen, anyone who's got savvy should look at the world in a different way. And I watched this thing. Like I said, I didn't understand it, but I was watching it. And then they said there was a statistical thing going across the screen with 4 cases, 23 cases involving death. And I looked at it and I just remembered that time of the sort of lockdown and all those things that were going along the screen when they were telling about so many people died and the deaths and the... So the Ugandan government is using the same techniques to get to whatever end they want to. They want to scare people in that area so they can consolidate all these gold findings into... Everything's got to be done on the secret, on the hush-hush. So they need people away from it. This is what I mean when they say they control with fear. That's what they do, they control with fear, you know? So, there you know, so even at the time when they were originally talking about the whole Ebola thing, right? And us, you know, because we are sort of taught to look at everything in this polarized way, so we might have said that they created Ebola just to screw up the blacks. That's how we might have looked at it before. But now, Ebola was definitely created in the same way as coronavirus was created, in the same way as AIDS was created. But the black Ugandan elites are using it in the same way as the white elites used coronavirus, in the same way as the American elites around the sort of gay community used the gay thing, and they used the gay thing to sort of stop people having sex all around the world anyway. That was one of the things. That's why they pushed it on. Wear a condom everywhere. The point I'm trying to make is that black leadership, black elites, the ones that stand out to me are this Museveni guy and how in Uganda they're using Ebola to safeguard their gold deposits and stuff like that. The Addo guy in Ghana, my God, he's really, really bad. He's really bad. We've got to look at the world, and I think in conclusion, we've just got to look at the world in a completely different way now. And we mustn't get seduced by that black thing. There's too much of it. And one thing that I noticed by looking at things that people send around on WhatsApp, not a lot of us can really see what's going on. Not a lot of us can understand when it's happening. Because that Julius Malema guy, who speaks very, very well, he come out recently. The royal family is dead anyway, it's finished. But he came out as a leading voice, when the Queen died a long time ago, way over a year ago. But when they announced that the Queen died, he come out saying, we're not going to mourn for her, and talking about all the things that they've done under colonialism, and we know what the Queen is, and blah, 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 blah. Trust me. Don't follow that Malema guy, right? He's one of them. He's one of them. Yeah, I'm telling you. All that bravado and everything, it's just words, man. It's just words. Can't trust them. This is what I'm saying. If you understand the world, you are free. You are free to kind of move around in it because you understand things. People don't have to tell you certain things. You can just work it out for yourself. Nobody said anything to me. As soon as they said there was an Ebola outbreak, with me knowing about the gold deposits and the gold find, it just worked it all out. And I've had it confirmed by about 3 people since I've been here. So I know now. I know that I can rely on my sixth sense now. The thing that makes me fifth dimensional and makes lots of other people just bounce into walls and shit when they're walking around. I know that it's something that I can rely on now. This place, man, I'm telling you, Africa it does things for you, and the sophistication of that girl in the thing made me realize that people have an understanding. They have an understanding that is kind of more sophisticated than ours, but they have it without the sophistication. They might not be able to kind of articulate the things that we can articulate. They might not be able to communicate in the same way that we do, but they've got a sophistication that will keep them good. You don't have to worry about these people now. Anyway, I don't even know if I'm going to make a video out of this because I know it seems like I'm kind of rambling and I don't really have any conclusions. I just kind of got in on that side and thought I wanted to maybe share some thoughts.
There's another one for the motherland. Yes, 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 there's another one for the motherland. Find the shade on the detail. For your info, check the intro, check the logo. I'm for the zone. Make a link up with the gringo. Another hit song, it's a bingo. enemies.